Hey, what's good, everybody? Happy Wednesday. It's a holiday shortened week here. Oh, sorry. I got stuff messed up in the background. No worries there. Just a little housekeeping here to get started. If you're not a client of Jazz Wealth and you are thinking about it, go to jazzwealth.com. When you click Invest Now, you can actually go through the entire process of opening your own brokerage account in your name, but where we can manage it for you. So if you have more questions on that, maybe we could set up a time to talk. Just click schedule a call on the website. For clients, this is your reminder. Go into your account, make sure your beneficiaries for your retirement accounts are who you want them to be. Update them if you do not want to use those people anymore, or maybe you just want to check the information. Make sure that's correct. It happens, you know, things happen, and you want to make sure that whoever you want to leave that retirement account to is listed, right? Because otherwise it gets a little complicated. If your beneficiary is listed on there, you can even do backup beneficiaries in the event that some major catastrophe happens. So be sure to take a moment to do that. If you want me to do it, you can go also send me the information as well. But be sure to log into your account sometime this week and check that out. That is your friendly reminder for that. Wine and Wealth, less than 2 weeks away. Don't worry, clients, you will get the email. Going to do a couple interesting topics to kickstart this thing. And thank you, so many of you that have sent me email topics for videos. You emailed them to me. I love them. Some really good topics there. We're going to get in detail. Some of them just have to get approved by the compliance group to make sure everything is cool. Let's talk about the markets today. Wild ride. Not as wild as we've seen, but the stock market was initially higher. Everything was higher on the day. The Dow was actually up over 100 points, which is kind of what everybody focuses on. And it ended the day down lower by 167 points. Basically, the Federal Reserve, right there, 2 o'clock there towards the end of the day, came out with their minutes from their previous meeting. And that's when we saw interest rates spike. We saw the dollar head higher, and the markets really started to sell off on that news. Not a big deal, but you got the Dow lower by 167, the S&P sold off 14, and you have the Nasdaq down 16. Here's the thing. We have been mentioning that we don't really expect any sort of big move from here. If we go over to the charts, here's your Dow. You can see it just started the day trying to head to highs and came back down, closed near the lows. This is the range. We've kind of been mentioning to you guys that we kind of expect this to be in a range. The only caveat or the only warning there is we are not in a market where bad news is good news. We used to be in a market where all news was good news, and even if it was bad, it was still good, right? That was, believe it or not, what happened for a while. We are no longer in that sort of environment. So bad news is bad news and will be responded to that way. That's how I feel anyways. Not to mention that there is someone that is very close to me that has been working for a charter company, we'll say, and that company has been sending troops quietly to South Korea very aggressively. They've been doing more and more and more and more flights there. So I got the heads up today that there might be something going on there, because that is more than they ever do. They normally do one trip every now and then, for every sort of rotation that the troops have over there in South Korea. And apparently they are going nonstop, just sending troops, 454 at a time, on these big jumbo jets. So I don't know. I'm not saying I have more information than anybody else, but something to consider. Let's get back to the markets, because I don't want to get in trouble. The S&P, there you go, same thing, range bound. We're going to just kind of find a new range. We came slamming down, we went rallying back up, and now we're going to kind of just settle in here and figure out where the markets are going from here. That's what all the traders want to see. And so, you know, just a waiting game. If you're long term, then there's really nothing to worry about there. Existing home sales, that might be something to worry about. The numbers came out today. Come to find out that the number of homes for sale that are 100,000 or less, they actually fell by 13%. Not because there were less buyers, but because the prices of homes are creeping up into those new categories. So first-time home buyers typically looking around that category and up to the 250,000 level, and they have much less homes to choose from because homes are getting expensive, which means there may end up being less home buyers in the long run. The biggest change in sales came from homes that were 500,000 to 750,000. They grew by 12%. So it shows that people are willing to pay the higher prices. There's a new category of person there. What does that have to do with the market? Not a whole lot here in the short term. It actually really didn't affect the markets too much today. The big focus was on the Federal Reserve. Let's talk about a few individual stocks. We've got Walmart. was down 9% yesterday, almost 10%. Today it lost another 2.75%. There was just a rumor that the head of their marketing division, no, the head of their e-commerce division, which is their major focus right now, might be leaving. So he very quickly came out and said, no, I'm not leaving. I'm here. We're working hard. And stock still sold off. Just kind of goes to show maybe investors think that he should leave. None of my business. The big news of the day that you're going to see on the news, the financial media, everything like that, is Amazon officially launching their own line of over-the-counter health products, drugs, ibuprofen, fake Rogaines or off-brand Rogaine for guys. I know I probably should look into something like that. Basically, all of your over-the-counter medications and stuff, cold medications, flu, things like that. They're starting with about 60 of their offerings. And they're going to be labeled under the brand Basic Care. So we've been talking about this for a while. We've been keeping you updated that Amazon quietly applied for different pharmaceutical licenses. They even tried to quietly announce this today, but it didn't work. Everybody found out. Here's the thing. Does Amazon, and think about this, we always try to get you to think about what's the real story. Think a little deeper. Does Amazon have a factory where they're cranking out ibuprofen and Rogaine? No, right? They have distribution centers. They're very good at that. But where are these drugs being made? Somebody is making these drugs and white labeling them or just slapping Amazon's Basic Care label on there. What company could be doing that? Well, a little bit of research. It's actually a public company. It's called Perrigo. All right, that's how I say it. It might be Perrigo. No, it's Perrigo. Anyways, I've always known the stock symbol, PRGO, is the stock symbol. These are the guys that actually make it. And they make all these different sort of medications over the counter, and then they let companies white label them. So is this company a good deal in the long term? Keep in mind, Amazon's just getting started. But Amazon certainly, we don't know the terms of the deal, but we know Amazon knows how to sell. They know how to get stuff out there. So something to consider. Maybe the play here isn't Amazon. I don't know. Well, what play you probably should have been a part of was Lazy Boy. Did you know that was a public company? So Lazy Boy, they make the Lazy Boy furniture. Great earnings. Apparently everybody is buying the recliners, the leather sofas, all that sort of relaxing chairs. I would love to get that stressless chair, by the way. I don't know if you've seen the chair that Lazy Boy makes called stressless. They make one for an office chair as well. Anyways, if I could buy one or thought to take the time to go do it, I would, which would have helped. Their revenue, their earnings, awesome. Everything just came in stronger than expected. Same store sales, always a metric that people watch, also up 2.6%. The stock was up 10% on the day just because of good earnings. On the other side of that, you got Lending Club. Have you heard of Lending Club? Do you know what these guys do? So basically, it's a peer-to-peer loan site where you can actually invest in loans that people are getting. Pretty cool. I think it's a pretty interesting concept. Down 5.5% today because not enough people are taking advantage of it. Boy, they missed everywhere. Profit, revenue, guidance, everything was lower going forward. So there you have it. Lower stock. What else do we have here? Stay tuned. We are working on something called Funny Money. It is a sort of a fun little podcast that me and my brother are doing. I'm also going to be sort of running the camera as well. So we're going to post it to our channel here. We're trying to just make it more, talk about lighthearted sort of investment, personal finance, savings things, kind of take my perspective, but, you know, not so professional, just kind of relaxed and whatever happens. He's a younger guy, so he'll have a different view on things as well. We're going to test it out. If you love it, hate it, you think that it's just completely ridiculous, let us know. We can handle the comments below. We're actually going to start here in just a little bit with our first sort of recording. We're going to do Stock Madness instead of March Madness. I don't know much about basketball, but we're going to pair some stocks up against each other and see which ones beat them here through the March Madness series. So I don't know, just something fun to do. You're driving in the car, you're just kind of listening to us somewhere, give you something else to maybe learn something or have some fun in the meantime. I appreciate you guys watching this long. I'm going to wrap it up. Have a great Wednesday. We'll be back Thursday, which is tomorrow. Thanks for watching.